Hey guys, thank you so much to Amber from the Dollywood PR team for providing us with this footage so you guys can get a look at this last piece being installed. Dollywood's newest roller coaster, Big Bear Mountain, continues towards its big opening this spring as the last piece of track was put into place on Tuesday afternoon. At 3,990 feet, the roller coaster will become the longest at the park. It will also be the first ride at Dollywood to feature onboard audio. Big Bear Mountain's massive structure hugs 6 acres of undulating topography which runs along the border of Wildwood Grove, with riders racing through the wilderness before soaring high above the forest on the search for the legendary bear. Featuring a top speed of 48 miles per hour, Big Bear Mountain takes guests through 3 separate launches, multiple airtime hills, high-speed carousel turns, and tunnels, including a pass behind a waterfall. So guys, yes, we are excited for this. Hopefully we get an invite in the spring when more of the theming's ready to go. I'm not sure. It's probably, maybe I would say Rex Howard Landscaping is the team that's going to be working on that waterfall feature. The last update we got from Coaster 101 and a couple of those guys on there, I saw the concrete footer and the box that is essentially going to is essentially going to house the waterfall pumps and, all of those units, and will eventually, of course, be covered by faux rock. But yeah, that is going to be here before we know it. You have to figure Dollywood's opening season, I want to say it's like 59 days away. I believe it's March 10th. I think that the opening is happening this year, of course, for season pass holders first, and then usually that Friday the park will open to the general public. But Big Bear Mountain, I was telling my buddy Leanne that is one of those coasters. It went up so freaking fast. This was absolutely one of those ones where I said, there's no track on property. How in the world are they going to have that done by spring? But I guess when you start thinking about, these crews, they roll in there, 5-6 days a week. They start at 7 a.m. Sometimes they're not even finished at dark. So these guys, they really put in the work to get these rides ready. I think Dollywood is usually, they're confident. If they say a ride is going to be ready by spring 2023, normally it's ready to go. Now, of course, Lightning Rod, a little bit of a different situation with, it was ready when they said it was going to be ready, but it's never been totally ready. But hopefully they've taken even some more steps on the off season to get that thing going. I think they've ironed out all of the issues with it. I did notice it still had a little bit of downtime, a pretty good bit of downtime last season, but hopefully this is, it seems like every off season they get it figured out a little more. I'm still not sure how this ended without Dollywood suing RMC for those issues, but it was, it was an experimental ride from the beginning, and I think everybody went in knowing that. Incredible ride. It's just insanely was unreliable for those first few years. But as far as Big Bear Mountain goes, I think hopefully this thing this thing should roll right from the beginning and will have not a lot of downtime, and is definitely going to bring some more bodies into Wildwood Grove, because right now you've got Dragon Flyer, you've got a couple little flat rides, you've got the bear ride, but there's the indoor kid place, but not a whole lot of thrill to pull you back into Wildwood Grove. And I'm thinking this is going to be that draw that kind of spreads out that crowd through the park, will inevitably, ease up some, free up some space on Wild Eagle and Lightning Rod. And this is, it's going to be pretty interesting back in there. Remember, at first, we didn't even know if this was going to be a coaster. We thought for sure that if anything was going to happen as far as a dark ride goes in Dollywood, they would do it in Wildwood Grove. They would have some kind of riverboat. Think of like a Dollywood Splash Mountain, some kind of drop ride like that. We do have, the falls over in, kind of off of Craftsman Valley. That one's getting very, very old. I've even heard rumors that could someday be almost be kind of like revamped into a dark, a dark ride in the sense of Splash Mountain, where you go through dark scenes and animatronics and lighting and all that. And then, of course, it culminates with the big drop. But, you know, I mean, because it's not, you know, it's not heavily themed enough to where, like, you know, like a Splash Country would have to, you know, Splash Mountain would have to be completely tore out. Dollywood's log flume is, it's really just a lot of practical wood theming that could really be tuned into, I think, a pretty cool dark ride. But we were all thinking we could have just swore that that Wildwood Grove was going to be the house of Dollywood's newest dark ride, but hasn't happened yet. I know we saw that a lot of the people that got back that survey 2 or 3 years ago, probably like pre-pandemic, it was overwhelmingly that we saw on Twitter and the websites when they were asking, what do you think Dollywood needs? It was overwhelmingly interactive dark ride over another coaster. So, but you know, they're getting Big Bear Mountain here now. I honestly think Dollywood can chill on the coasters for a little bit now, and they really need to start thinking about reintroducing a full-on e-ticket attraction dark ride somewhere in the park. It is severely lacking in that. So, like I said, maybe we got we got another coaster now. Let's cool it. Let's get that dark, spend the money and get that dark ride put in, and get this, you know, get this rolling. I think that is really kind of what's one of the things that holds the park back is so many people just look for that indoor dark ride. And, you know, other than Blazing Fury, which, I mean, yeah, it's an indoor coaster, but it's not a slow moving or even like, you know, what do you call it in Disney? Rise of the Resistance style trackless dark ride. You know, that is what Dollywood, I think, is missing. If you asked me anything that's missing, interactive dark ride. So you guys have to let me know your thoughts on that down below. But yeah, this thing is, it looks like it's raring to go now that the last track piece is put in. Theming should really ramp up. And, you know, there really isn't a lot of theming on this coaster, so it's more getting the rock work and the landscape design in, and most of the theming is centered on that waterfall that the coaster will go behind, and of course, the station and the queue area. So, I don't know, we'll have to see. But you guys let me know what you think about all this. Let me know if you're excited for Big Bear Mountain, or if you're going to be able to make your way to Dollywood in spring of 2023 or any time next year. And yeah, thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out with me. I'm S. Dan Wolf, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.